Hi, this is Michael Legacy Abbey with Enterprise Express Tax Service. Today I'm doing a rehash of the Schedule C. The Schedule C is an IRS form that's used to deduct business expenses, especially if you happen to be a sole proprietor, an independent contractor, or even someone who works in the gig economy. This could be an Uber driver, Lyft driver, Grubhub, DoorDash, anything that's related to, for instance, independent contracting as a logistics provider of the types that I just mentioned, you're probably going to need to use a Schedule C. The good thing with a Schedule C is that it can be used in pairing with your 1040, which is your regular tax form. So you do not necessarily have to file a separate business return. For instance, if you get paid with a 1099, I'll give you an example. If you're an Uber driver, you're probably going to be issued, if you earn over a certain amount as an Uber driver, you're probably going to be issued with a 1099K, a 1099 NEC. A 1099K is where they detail all the monies that have been received during the course of the tax year. A 1099 NEC is, for instance, any bonus payments that you might have received. You're also going to get what's called a summary page. The summary page pretty much shows a total summary of payments that were received, but it also showed the payments that were paid as commission to Uber or Lyft, as the case may be. Now, I do know that other companies like DoorDash might only issue you with one form, with one 1099 form, and some do not issue you with anything at all. For instance, Uber will not issue you with a 1099 if you made less than a certain amount. In this case, it'll probably be up to you to determine how much you made and furnish that information to your tax preparer so that they can prepare your tax return. But it is extremely likely that in any of these cases that I've mentioned, your tax preparer is going to use a Schedule C, and that's a form that the IRS uses to deduct your business expenses and to also show what income that you made as well. So the Schedule C is extremely important. I usually would advise any of my clients who are in the gig economy, who are Uber, Lyft, or DoorDash drivers, or who work for a company and get paid with a 1099. I usually would say go and download a copy of the Schedule C from the IRS website, www.irs.gov, and study. Use the Schedule C as a guide for your business expenses. Okay, and there's so many categories there. It's actually quite a revelation because it shows you just how much that you can deduct. You can deduct mileage, you can deduct advertising expenses, you can deduct legal expenses, you can deduct food expenses, you can deduct, for instance, if you had to rent machinery, for instance, you can deduct your home space used for business. So there's a lot on that Schedule C that you really need to know about so that you have a good understanding of what to provide to your tax preparer or your tax professional. So once again, this is Michael Abbey doing a rehash of the Schedule C. This is my highlight of the Schedule C form. I do have more information on YouTube on this particular subject, but I just thought I'd go over this since I do get a lot of questions from people who are sole proprietors, independent contractors, and people who work in the gig economy, for instance, asking, how do I deduct my business expenses? The key form is the Schedule C. Once again, it's Michael Abbey, and I look forward to serving you this 2024 tax filing season. Remember, it starts January 29th. That's when the IRS starts processing. Bye.